Previously on Alonso's way. So 5th place. Top 2 finish apparently. This is going to be interesting. And the lights are out and we're off. Already, that was quick. That is until lap 3, when, Hornby has it, a collision had happened between Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel. Raikkonen and Hamilton had a coming together. Hamilton then hit Vettel. The two had a bit of a spin and me and Raikkonen scraped through. I see we've run out of fuel. We've run out of fuel on the last lap. Raikkonen's going to have us. But is Lewis Hamilton going to have us? We're going to go to the line. Ooh, did we get 3rd? I don't know.
The time has come to start the first session of the race weekend. It's practice for the Malaysia Grand Prix. So after the first race, how do you think this season will compare to previous years?
Well, I hope that we're in for a fantastic season. The Mercedes team have certainly come out of pre-season testing the strongest, which is all well and good, but it's the racing where the pace really counts. It's always difficult to predict, therefore, who's going to come out on top.
The new regulations for this year say goodbye to the somewhat unique nose designs that we saw on the 2014 cars.
The 2014 changes were brought in to promote safety, but I don't think it was anticipated how the teams would exploit the regulations. This year, those regulations have been tightened up to give us a more traditional look to the noses on the 2015 cars.
Hey guys, I'm Viper and welcome back to Alonso's Way, episode 2, Malaysia. Actually we got a good result last time out in Australia. We got a podium finish, just about, thanks to Lewis Hamilton not getting us across the line. As you see, you joined us in practice at Malaysia. As you can see, we had that recap. I hope the recap was good because, I mean, for you guys, because it took a while to get that done. I know it's only a minute long, but believe me, I think it makes the series a lot better, so not too bad. As you see, we got held up on our practice lap there by Vettel, who actually stayed with us throughout this whole lap, so I used to run board with Alonso because we're driving as him. As you can see, we've got Will Stevens. You'll also notice as well, the episode is actually in 60 frames per second. Now, the last one would have been in 60 frames per second, but some of the footage might not have synced properly, so most of the episodes are going to be in 60. Aside from, I think, the what they call the in-season testing, that will be 30 frames, but for the most part the F1 2015 ones, just where the races are concerned, are in 60 frames per second, so feel free to watch them for your optimal you know, viewing experience as it is. But actually we're going through Sector 2, we've set a 35.527, which is not bad for Sector 2. In fact, I actually noticed that Sector 2 is our strong point. Now, even though, like I said in the first episode, we've got a big, you know, what do you say, you know, a big disappointment, I guess. Well, compared to the constraint of having a lower top speed, you know, than everybody else, and lack of engine power compared to like the Ferraris and the Mercedes and the Williams. So it's quite interesting, to be honest. I think this race is interesting. You know, slightly. I've tried, like I said, I tried to make the episode more interesting each time. As you see, we're on DRS and we set a 1:43.563, and as we get our engine set, plus us at top of the table now, coming down into turn 1, sorry, we've got Vettel, but later on after that lap we actually went quicker and did a 1:42.991. As you see, Vettel did the 1:42.497. I'll now hand you over to the commentators.
And welcome to Malaysia as we head into the all-important qualifying session. The drivers are raring to go and we're just waiting for the lights to go green to signify the start of the qualifying hour. Last year we saw a wonderful race here in Malaysia and I'm expecting another fascinating weekend to come here in Kuala Lumpur.
Well, there are at least 3 or 4 other drivers that could be strong contenders for a front row start tomorrow, so it's difficult to predict who will come out on top, but it's certainly going to be an exciting qualifying session today.
Right, okay, qualifying time for the Malaysian Grand Prix. So we've got 5 red lights and we're going on to our qualifying lap. I see Bottas is in front, but I don't think it will be for long. So coming down to turn 1, and we're in it in second gear, which is not too bad. Second gear's alright. Going around into past turn 2 now. Going around the long right-hander, which brings us to the end sector. We see Hamilton just pulls away, and we're really struggling. Even though we've got a decent top speed, I mean it's slowish, it's still preventing us from getting anywhere near in the top 5. You can see we're actually moving up through positions, but I'm losing out. But this, like I said, this sector was the one where sector 2 was the one where we seem to gain time. As you can see, Hamilton's actually not that slow, not that quick. I mean, and we seem to catch him on the exit here. And coming into this double right-hander in 4th gear, you can tell, you can easily just see the advantage we've got going into that corner. We're easily catching up to Lewis here at the front. And it's quite impossible really to think about McLaren actually catching the Mercedes because, well, it's not that strong with this Honda engine. As you see, we kind of catch him on that corner a slight bit, but there's not really much to say about it in terms of qualifying pace. I mean, we've got a decent qualifying pace here. See, it says P4, P5 in the top left, and P3 again, but obviously the thing that's going to hamper us the most is this back straight now. As we go on the DRS, going all the way down, we're going to get into 7th gear, 180, 190, no, 188 before we hit the corner when we start braking. So you're going through the last corner and getting the DRS as quick as possible. And coming across the line, looks like we're going to be P6. So P6 is not a bad place to start. 3rd row of the grid, just like last race out, we started P5. So not our best qualifying performance, but with a car that's not great, it's pretty good. Let's see what Dave Croft had to say.
What a session it's been for Mercedes today. They've locked the front row of the grid for tomorrow's race.
Well, it's going to be an interesting race towards the first corner tomorrow, because whoever leads into turn 2 will be in a very strong position to go on and win.
And as you heard from the commentators, it's another Mercedes 1-2 with Ferrari locking out the 2nd row of the grid, and we're just behind Valtteri Bottas. We could have actually passed Bottas in the qualifying, but we're very close, only a 10th behind. So we're going to start P6 for race. As you can see, Jenson Button not doing so great, still 14th. Like I said, that's where we usually are anyway, where McLaren really should be at the moment. Lotus is not having a great day because we've got Pastor Maldonado in 17th. Max Ericsson in 18th, but Danny Kvyat again not doing great for Red Bull, finishing in 15th. I see the two Manas bringing up the rear as per usual. Sergio Perez starts 16th with his teammates starting 12th, so Force India to be in a good fight for the race. I'll now pass you over to the race.
Good afternoon and welcome from Sepang, where the cars and drivers are getting ready to start the Malaysia Grand Prix. On pole today is Lewis Hamilton. The Mercedes was dominant during qualifying, and with the power unit advantage, well, you just can't see anybody challenging for that race win today.
He'll want to stay out of trouble over the first few laps, but he'll be determined not to let any cars past him. If he can maintain that position once everything's settled down, he'll have a massive advantage and be able to control the race.
Nico won the last race with a performance that Toto Wolff called a drive of true class. He seems really at home in this Mercedes team, and it's from that platform that he's able to put in these great performances.
Nico certainly had the edge over Lewis last time out, and he'll want to put one over on his teammate again today. Don't underestimate the mind games that are going on between these pair as they battle it out for supremacy.
So both the commentators seem to think that Mercedes are going to be having a bit of a scrap at the front. Well, it might do, they might not. We'll have to see for Malaysian Grand Prix. As you see, we're actually going to take the choice, decision that is made by the crew. So we're going to start in the options and pit for primes on like lap 6 or 7. I should go on the race till then. Let's go for the start of the race. We're revving up to 5 red lights here at Malaysia. It's lights out, and away we go here at Malaysia. And Bottas and the two Ferraris seem to have got a bit of a bogged down start. Bottas is trying to make a move on Raikkonen. We've got Massa alongside us. He's going to push us a bit wide into the grass, but we're going to go 3 wide along with Roman Grosjean into the first turn. And you see Raikkonen and Bottas are going side by side as well. We're going to the car, we've locked up our front left tyre, but we've managed to get through nice and cleanly. We've not made any contact. As you can see, Grosjean's in 7th, but we're going to go a bit side by side a little bit with him. We get very close, our front wing nearly touches his rear tyre, so luckily it didn't. And we're down into 7th place, so not too great of a start for us, but then again we have got a deficit in terms of speed. But actually, like I said, this is where we catch the AI quite a bit. I see Grosjean going very slow. We actually clipped his back right tyre with our front wing, but luckily it doesn't break. We don't give him a puncture. I'm going to go up the inside from Grosjean at the double right-hander and get back up into 6th place. So now we're going to start chasing down Kimi Raikkonen on with Valtteri Bottas, who's out in front. As you can see, these two having a scrap can allow us to catch up really. Grosjean's already a second and a half back, so that says a lot really. But the bit where obviously we might be able to catch him in corners, but the bit that's going to hammer us the most, there's no doubt about it, it's going to be the back straights here and the long middle straight, the long come straight. As you can see, Raikkonen just pulls away, and luckily there's no DRS on that one, so that's all fine and dandy. But just the speed deficit, you can easily tell here. Raikkonen is just getting away there, but obviously, like I said, we are able to catch him in the corners, so it's good on our part in terms of corners, as Hamilton sets the fastest lap and only lap 1. But obviously that happens every now and again. And speaking of Lewis Hamilton, as we go down to the first corner, and thanks to a lovely part of editing, we jump onto lap 3, and as you notice in the top left, we're now P5. That's because Lewis Hamilton, and I didn't believe this for myself, has actually retired from the race. Now, as I go around this right-hander here, I actually paused the game just to see who it was, of course, and just to check for myself. And as you can see at the top, Rosberg's at the top, but Lewis Hamilton's nowhere to be seen. I see he's in 19th. He's in the garage. He's been put off by that. As we get to lap 6 and moving on a bit further in the race to lap 6, this is our pitting lap, and believe me, we didn't actually catch Bottas or Raikkonen, even though they were scrapping. You see, coming into the pits now, put the pit limiter on, and obviously it seems like a lot of cars are coming in for this lap. Red Bull's getting their cars ready. Williams is supposed to come, most likely Massa, and our crew's obviously brought us in this lap, so you get back up to speed again. And we've got Massa, and I believe Perez is going to pass us for 8th, and we're going to get past again. It looks like we are. All the cars come over inside. That's 9th, that's Ericsson. And we've got our teammate who, after that glitch with the gearbox again, we've come out just ahead of Button, so it was kind of lucky really on our part really. We've managed to keep ahead of Button, so I think he's already on the primes actually. He started on the primes. I think he's going to move to... He started on the primes and he's going to move up onto the options, I think on lap 10. I see coming across the line to get our positions back, and we're on lap 8. As you can see, our position, we were in 5th I believe when we got, when we came back, and apparently there was a yellow flag. I see Bottas is going super slow and going to turn 2 now. We got going up the inside of him, we blank wheels together, and Alonso puts his hand up in the air as if to say, "What are you doing, Bottas? What are you doing?" Bottas is going to stay on the he's going to keep to the inside for this next corner. We're going to go around the inside, and we're going to make the move. And unfortunately, I noticed that Bottas started going very, very slow after that. I don't know if we hit him. I think we did. And actually, we've got right up to Vettel later on that lap. We're going down his inside. We've lost a bit of the car, lost the back end. And it's not too bad. We've actually managed to get past Vettel in the Ferrari, which is staggering, really. But of course, we've got that straight line deficit as on going on to lap 9. Vettel gets with the DRS, just breezes past. We try and get in his slipstream, but it's just no use. And here, this time you're actually going to see this, but we actually clipped Vettel, and I went back in the flashbacks afterwards. And as you see, just before we hit him, I actually used the flashback feature. So this corner, we're actually going to take this. This is like take 2, really. We're going into that first corner again. Not going to spin Vettel out, and yeah, he's going to stay ahead of us, of course. We're not going to ram him or anything again, but he's got a slow exit, so we're going to try and gain some time in him. But that Ferrari engine is just too powerful for our Honda engine, and we can't do anything about it. I see, moving on to the last lap of the race, Vettel literally just pulled away, and we managed to keep ahead of Bottas, who was in 4th. So Rosberg's won the race. Vettel's going to come home in 2nd for Ferrari. And we're going to take our 2nd podium in a row in the McLaren, with 3rd place at the Malaysian Grand Prix, which is a fantastic result for us. And now on over to David Croft and Anthony Davidson. And of course, the podium. Enjoy.
another win for the Brackley-based team. What a car they've got this year.
Yes, definitely. It was a brilliant race, and one that you can tell the fans really enjoyed.
After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.
And that's the race finished. We finished third, which is an excellent scoring again. 15 more points for our tally, so Alonso was kind of on his way there. Vettel, unfortunately, like I said, he was 6 seconds in front in the end, but you know, we still had the pace to keep ahead of Bottas, which is great to see. As you see, Button finished down in 12th, and Danny Clear actually finished 10th. Ricciardo managed to impress and get, I think, 6th place, so that's 8 points for his championship tally after that dreadful race in Australia. As you see, it wasn't just Lewis Hamilton DNF'd, Massa DNF'd as well. Obviously the two Manas are out, came 17th and 18th, so last pretty much. Both Force Indias finished out of the points, and Sauber got the 2 points thanks to Felipe Nasr. As you can see, going down here, most people finished on primes, and it looks as if Massa retired in Sector 2 on lap 9. So, unfortunately, I didn't see anything happen during the race about that. So, after obviously continuing on to the Drivers' Championship, we've actually been promoted up into 2nd place thanks to our 2 podium finishes in Australia and, of course, here in Sepang. And we're actually ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Rosberg's leading the title fight by 20 points over us. Lewis Hamilton's actually been demoted to 6th place now after retiring here in Malaysia, so he needs to get back on his feet if he's got any chance to win the title. As you see, we've managed to, thanks to the podium finish and Massa retiring, we've managed to keep ahead of Williams. Obviously, Ferrari's still pulled ahead, and Mercedes was still pulled ahead. Only 6 points separate Ferrari and Mercedes, and 32 points between ourselves and Mercedes. So it's been a fantastic race. I've enjoyed this episode quite a bit. Obviously, we've got China next, so that should be an interesting race, considering we've got we've got the smallest, let's say smallest, like 2nd smallest speed deficit, so it's going to make the race will be quite interesting. I hope this episode wasn't too long. I am trying to make these as short as possible, and obviously be sure to let me know what you thought of the recap thing at the start of the video. I do plan on doing that for episode 3, which is obviously in China. And until next time, I've been Viper Racing, you guys have been awesome. I'll leave you guys with the race start, and until next time, Viper out.